Welcome to US Coins World. What if I told you that some of the rarest and most valuable US coins might be hiding right under your nose? Today, we're uncovering incredible treasures, coins so rare, they could make you a fortune overnight. Ready to discover hidden history and cash in on some amazing finds? Let's dive in. Top 1 today, we're setting our sights on a true American classic, the very first coin released in the legendary 50-state quarters program, the Delaware State Quarter from 1999. And trust me, you're going to want to listen carefully until the end, because one of these coins could be worth an incredible amount of money. Let's begin with a little background. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which would go on to become one of the most popular coin programs in American history. Each state was honored with its own unique design, released in the order they joined the Union. And as history would have it, Delaware had the honor of being the very first. This quarter not only represents the start of a monumental coin-collecting journey for millions of Americans, but it also carries with it a special charm that has fascinated collectors for over 2 decades. Now, what makes the Delaware State Quarter so unique? On the obverse, or the front side, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with slight modifications to fit the State Quarter series. But the true beauty lies on the reverse. Delaware chose to honor Caesar Rodney, a hero of the American Revolution, depicted riding on horseback. This design captures Rodney's historic ride of 1776, when he traveled an incredible distance to cast his vote in favor of independence. The image of Rodney, bold and determined, reflects the courage, sacrifice, and dedication that helped shape the birth of the United States. But while the design itself is rich with symbolism and history, what really draws collectors to this coin are the fascinating errors and rare varieties that make certain Delaware quarters incredibly valuable. You see, while millions of these quarters were struck and circulated across the country, not all of them were created perfectly. Some were minted with mistakes, and those mistakes are what collectors crave the most. One of the most famous errors on the Delaware quarter is known as the spitting horse variety. This error occurs when a die crack appears on the coin in such a way that it looks like Caesar Rodney's horse has a line extending from its mouth, almost as if the horse is spitting. At first glance, it might seem like a minor flaw, but in the world of coin collecting, that little line has made this version of the Delaware quarter one of the most talked about and sought after state quarter errors of all time. Collectors love these quirks because they transform an ordinary coin into something unique, something one of a kind, and it doesn't stop there. Other errors, such as off-center strikes, double die varieties, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, can send the value of a Delaware state quarter soaring. Imagine holding a coin that was struck on the wrong metal blank or one that shows doubling in the lettering or the design. Those rare mistakes are like gold to collectors. While most Delaware quarters are worth just 25 cents, the right error coin in pristine condition can change everything. Condition also plays a huge role in determining the value of these coins. A Delaware quarter that has been heavily circulated, scratched, or worn down will likely not be worth more than face value. But an uncirculated coin, one that looks as fresh as the day it was minted, can attract serious interest. Combine that uncirculated condition with a rare error, and you have the recipe for a coin that can sell for thousands upon thousands of dollars at auction. Now here's something that makes this even more exciting: the Delaware quarter is more than just the start of the state quarters program. It's a symbol of the collecting craze that swept across America at the turn of the millennium. Families, children, and seasoned collectors all rushed to find and save these quarters as they were released. Many people held on to their Delaware quarter as a keepsake, never knowing that one day, if they happened to have a rare error version, it could turn into a life-changing discovery. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never really know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. That change rattling around in your car, or the coin you got back from the store, could actually be something extraordinary. The Delaware quarter, especially with errors like the spitting horse or other rare varieties, has proven time and time again that ordinary coins can carry extraordinary value. So, the big question: what is the Delaware State Quarter from 1999 really worth if you happen to find one of those rare, error-filled beauties in excellent condition? Well, after years of excitement, collector demand, and record-breaking auctions, there have been instances where this coin has reached values that are simply astonishing, and now, the moment you've all been waiting for. A rare Delaware state quarter from 1999, with the right error and in uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for as much as $85,000, yes, you heard that right, $85,000 for a single quarter. It's almost unbelievable that a coin most people spent without a second thought could now be worth more than a luxury car, or even more than some people's annual salary. That is the magic of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. So, my fellow collectors, if you've got an old stash of coins tucked away, or if you happen to come across a 1999 Delaware state quarter, take a close look. You might be holding a piece of American history worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2. We're diving into the history, beauty, and mystery of the Louisiana state quarter from 2002. This little piece of American currency carries more secrets than you might think, and if you stick with us until the end, you'll discover how one of these coins has been known to fetch an unbelievable price. Let's start with a bit of background. The Louisiana state quarter was part of the United States Mint's iconic 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state was given its own unique design, released in the order that the states joined the Union. Louisiana's turn came in 2002, celebrating its rich culture, history, and contributions to the United States. Millions of these quarters entered circulation, but as every seasoned collector knows, not every coin is created equal. Some of them hide rare errors and varieties that transform them from an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. The design of the Louisiana state quarter is truly captivating. On the obverse, like all state quarters, we see George Washington's familiar portrait. But the real artistry lies on the reverse. The Louisiana quarter celebrates the state's 200th anniversary of joining the Union, featuring a bold outline of the state itself, accompanied by a pelican, the official state bird. The design also includes a trumpet with musical notes flowing from it, paying tribute to Louisiana's world-famous jazz heritage. And of course, there's a special nod to the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, the monumental land deal that doubled the size of the United States. This design is not just symbolic, it tells a story. It represents Louisiana's culture, history, music, and natural beauty. It's a coin that embodies both the soul of the state and a defining chapter in American history. For collectors, coins with deep cultural meaning like this one are always in high demand, but here's where things get even more exciting. While millions of Louisiana state quarters were minted, only a small fraction of them have unique characteristics that set them apart. Some of these coins were struck with errors, mistakes that occurred during the minting process. These errors can range from subtle to dramatic, and they are what turn an everyday coin into a numismatic treasure. For example, some Louisiana quarters show doubling in the lettering or the design, known as a double die error. Others may have off-center strikes, where the design is visibly shifted, leaving parts of the coin blank. There are also coins that were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank used wasn't intended for that particular coin. Imagine a Louisiana quarter struck on a nickel planchet or even a foreign coin blank. These oddities send collectors into a frenzy. One of the most fascinating parts of coin collecting is that no two errors are ever exactly alike. That means every error coin is unique, and uniqueness is what drives value in the collector's market. The Louisiana state quarter, with its intricate design and wide circulation, was especially prone to these minting quirks. Over the years, a number of remarkable error coins from this series have surfaced, each one commanding impressive prices at auction. Now, let's talk about condition. Collectors place enormous importance on the grade of a coin. A heavily circulated Louisiana quarter with scratches, nicks, or wear will usually only be worth face value. But a coin that has been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, bright, shiny, and free from damage, can be worth far more. Combine this uncirculated state with a rare minting error, and you've got a recipe for a truly valuable coin. The Louisiana state quarter also holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because of its timing. Released in 2002, it was part of the height of the state quarters craze. Families across America collected these coins, often placing them in special albums or saving them in jars. People who didn't consider themselves coin collectors suddenly became fascinated by the idea of holding a piece of history in their hands. This popularity has only fueled the demand for rare versions of the Louisiana quarter, making them even more valuable today. Think about it, something as simple as a quarter, the kind of coin most people drop in a vending machine or leave forgotten in a drawer, could be worth thousands of dollars if it carries the right error or condition. This is why coin collecting is often described as a treasure hunt. The treasures are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye and a little bit of knowledge, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. After years of excitement, discoveries, and auctions, certain Louisiana state quarters from 2002, featuring rare errors and preserved in stunning uncirculated condition, have reached jaw-dropping values in the collector's market. Yes, one of these Louisiana quarters has been known to sell for as much as $83,000. That's right, $83,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine, a coin you might have once spent without a second thought could actually be worth more than a luxury car, or even more than what many people make in an entire year. That's the thrill of numismatics, and that's why collectors around the world continue to search, study, and treasure coins like the Louisiana State Quarter. So, my friends, the next time you come across a 2002 Louisiana quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look. Inspect its details, check its condition, and who knows, you might be holding a coin worth far more than you ever dreamed. Top 3. We're traveling back to 2002 to take a closer look at one of the most fascinating coins from the United States Mint's legendary 50 state quarters program, the Ohio State Quarter. This coin is not just a small piece of metal, it's a tribute to American innovation, exploration, and history. And for some lucky collectors, it has turned out to be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. So listen very carefully, enjoy the story, and stay with me until the end, because you won't believe how much one of these Ohio quarters has sold for. Let's begin with some background. The Ohio State Quarter was released in 2002, honoring Ohio as the 17th state to join the Union back in 1803. This coin was the second release of that year, and it quickly became a favorite among collectors because of its powerful design and historical significance. Millions of Ohio quarters entered circulation, but as always in the world of coin collecting, not every coin is the same. Some of them have hidden features and rare errors that make them far more valuable than their face value of just 25 cents. The design of the Ohio quarter is a fascinating one. On the obverse side, we see the classic portrait of George Washington, which was used throughout the state quarter series. But it's the reverse side that tells Ohio's story. This coin proudly features the Wright Flyer, the world's first successful powered airplane, along with the silhouette of an astronaut. These images symbolize Ohio's nickname, birthplace of aviation pioneers. From the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, who made history with the first flight, to Ohio-born astronauts like John Glenn and Neil Armstrong, the state has an unmatched legacy in the skies and beyond. The words, birthplace of aviation pioneers, are inscribed as a permanent reminder of Ohio's contributions to human exploration, but beyond the symbolism and design, what really excites collectors are the unique features, rare errors, and condition of the Ohio State Quarter. While millions of these coins were struck, a small number display minting errors that make them incredibly desirable. These include double die errors, where parts of the design or lettering appear doubled, off-center strikes, where the image is noticeably misaligned, and wrong planchet errors, where the coin was mistakenly struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Imagine holding an Ohio quarter that was accidentally struck on a dime planchet. That kind of rarity can turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Another fascinating error sometimes associated with Ohio quarters is die cracks, where small raised lines appear on the coin due to cracks in the die. These imperfections make the coin unique, and collectors love these little quirks because they are unrepeatable. Each error coin is essentially one of a kind, and rarity is the key driver of value in numismatics. Condition is just as important as rarity. Most Ohio quarters have been in circulation for over 2 decades, passed through countless hands, and show the signs of everyday use, scratches, dings, and wear. These circulated coins typically aren't worth more than face value. But an uncirculated Ohio quarter, one that has been preserved in pristine condition since it left the mint, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its grade. If that same coin also happens to have a minting error, its value skyrockets. The Ohio quarter holds an additional place of honor in coin collecting because of its connection to history. The imagery on this coin captures the incredible journey from the Wright brothers' first flight in 1903 to Ohio-born astronauts stepping onto the surface of the moon. Few coins tell such a sweeping story of human achievement. For collectors, this combination of symbolism and design makes the Ohio State Quarter not only a piece of currency but also a piece of history. That extra layer of meaning only fuels demand among those who want to own one of these rare pieces. Another factor that makes the Ohio Quarter so appealing is its place in the larger 50-state quarters program. This program introduced millions of new collectors to the hobby, from children filling coin albums to lifelong enthusiasts searching for the rarest varieties. The Ohio Quarter, with its striking aviation theme, quickly became one of the highlights of the entire series. And because it was issued in such high numbers, people often think it's common and overlook it. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. Now imagine this: a quarter worth just 25 cents in your pocket could actually be worth thousands if it has the right characteristics. That is why collectors inspect coins so carefully, searching for doubling in the design, off-center strikes, unusual weights, or unique planchet compositions. These subtle differences can transform a pocket change find into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And now, it's time for the big reveal you've been waiting for. After years of collecting, auctions, and incredible finds, some Ohio State quarters from 2002, especially those with rare errors in pristine uncirculated condition, have reached astonishing values in the collector's market. One of these Ohio quarters has been known to sell for as much as $81,000. Yes, you heard that right, $81,000 for a single state quarter. Think about it: a coin most people use to buy candy or feed a parking meter could actually be worth more than a luxury car, more than a year's salary for many people, and certainly more than anyone would expect from a simple piece of pocket change. That's the thrill of this hobby. So, the next time you come across a 2002 Ohio quarter, don't just spend it without a second thought. Take a closer look at the details, check its condition, and see if it might be one of those rare treasures. You never know, you might be holding something that could change your life. Top 4. We're shining the spotlight on the Texas State Quarter, released in 2004, and trust me, this one deserves your full attention. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovering something rare, then sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy, because by the end of this video you'll know why this quarter could be worth so much more than just 25 cents. The Texas State Quarter was part of the United States Mint's famous 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Each state was honored with its own design, released in the order that they entered the Union. In 2004, it was Texas's turn, commemorating its proud history and culture as the 28th state to join the United States in 1845. On the obverse, as with all the state quarters, we see the portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. But it's the reverse side where Texas truly leaves its mark. The Texas quarter features a bold outline of the state itself, behind which lies a single, large five-pointed star, the Lone Star, a symbol that represents Texas's fierce independence and pride. A lariat rope encircles the entire design, symbolizing the state's cowboy heritage, ranching traditions, and rugged spirit. The words, "The Lone Star State," are inscribed proudly, reminding everyone of Texas's nickname and its unique role in American history. But while millions of these coins were minted and circulated across the country, only a handful stand out in ways that collectors find irresistible. What makes some Texas quarters so valuable isn't just the design, but the minting errors and special varieties that make them one of a kind. In coin collecting, rarity and uniqueness are everything, and the Texas State Quarter has delivered some fascinating examples. One of the most sought-after errors associated with this coin is the double die variety. This happens when the coin's design is imprinted twice at slightly different angles, causing noticeable doubling in the lettering, numbers, or even parts of the design. Imagine looking closely and seeing the words or details appear doubled. It's like a hidden signature from the minting process itself. Collectors pay big money for these double die coins because they're both rare and visually striking. Another rare type of error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned with the dies during the minting process, resulting in part of the design being shifted to one side, sometimes leaving blank areas where the image should be. These mistakes are eye-catching, and the more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value collectors are willing to pay. There are also wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, a Texas quarter was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or even a foreign coin. These errors are extremely rare and highly prized because they represent an unusual accident at the mint. A quarter struck on the wrong metal not only looks and feels different but also becomes an instant rarity. Beyond errors, condition plays a huge role in the value of the Texas state quarter. Coins that have been circulating in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines for 20 years are usually scratched, worn, and worth little more than face value. But coins that were never spent, that were carefully preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, are where collectors find the real gems. Combine an uncirculated coin with a dramatic error, and you've got a piece that can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The Texas quarter is also deeply appealing to collectors because of its symbolism and cultural pride. Texas is a state with a legendary reputation: the Alamo, the cowboys, the oil fields, the wide-open prairies, and the bold Lone Star flag. All of that identity is captured in this single quarter, making it not just currency, but a miniature piece of art that tells a powerful story. That emotional and historical connection only adds to the coin's collector appeal. It's also worth remembering that the 50-state quarters program itself created an enormous wave of new collectors. Millions of Americans began saving these coins, searching through their change, and filling special collector maps and albums. But among all those saved coins, only a select few have turned out to be extraordinary. That's why the hunt continues, because you never know when a coin you've held onto for years could end up being something truly special. And here's the exciting part: over the years, some Texas quarters with the right combination of condition and rare errors have sold at auction for incredible amounts of money. These aren't just coins anymore, they're treasures that inspire bidding wars among collectors eager to own something unique. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. While most Texas quarters are worth no more than face value, a rare 2004 Texas state quarter with the right error, preserved in uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for as much as $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine finding one of these coins in your collection, or realizing that a coin you've held onto for years is actually worth more than a brand new car. That's the thrill of coin collecting, and that's why so many people continue searching, learning, and enjoying this fascinating hobby. So, coin lovers, the next time you come across a Texas state quarter, don't just pass it off as ordinary change. Take a closer look, examine its details, and check its condition. You never know, you could be holding a hidden treasure. Top 5. We're diving into a modern coin that might surprise you. It's not from the 1960s or even the early 2000s. This time, we're exploring the 2019 Lowell quarter, a coin that has already caught the attention of serious collectors. And by the end of this video, you'll see why some of these quarters have sold for prices that will leave you absolutely stunned. Now, before we get into rarity and errors, let's talk about where this coin comes from. The Lowell quarter was issued in 2019 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program, which ran from 2010 through 2021, honored national parks, historic sites, and landmarks across all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the U.S. territories. It was a follow-up to the incredibly popular 50-state quarters program, and it gave collectors a new reason to search their change. The Lowell National Historical Park quarter was the very first release of 2019. It celebrates Lowell, Massachusetts, a city known as the cradle of the American Industrial Revolution. In the early 19th century, Lowell became a hub for textile mills and manufacturing, shaping the future of American industry and labor. The coin design captures this important piece of history beautifully. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, which has appeared on quarters for generations. But the reverse side is what makes the Lowell quarter so special. It depicts a woman working at a power loom, a scene that represents the many women who worked in textile mills and contributed to the industrial growth of the United States. Behind her, you can see the Butt Mill clock tower and a large smokestack, powerful symbols of the city's industrial landscape. This design is more than just a picture, it tells a story of progress, innovation, and the contributions of everyday workers, especially women, to America's development, but as always in the world of coin collecting, not every Lowell quarter is the same. While millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation, a small number stand out because of their rarity, condition, or unique errors. And those are the coins that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. One of the most well-known errors with the Lowell quarter is the double die variety. This occurs when the design elements on the coin, like the lettering or parts of the image, appear doubled due to a mistake during the die-making process. For the Lowell quarter, collectors have reported doubling in the inscriptions or even in parts of the loom and background. These double die varieties are extremely desirable because they're easy to spot and clearly set the coin apart from ordinary issues. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. If the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press during minting, the design can appear noticeably shifted, with part of the coin blank left exposed. These off-center Lowell quarters are striking to look at and are instantly recognized as minting mistakes, which makes them highly collectible. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchet, where a quarter design accidentally gets imprinted on a blank meant for a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin. These types of errors are rare, but when they happen, they create coins that are truly one of a kind. For the Lowell quarter, such mistakes are exceptionally scarce, and that scarcity drives up their value tremendously. And let's not forget about condition. With a coin as recent as 2019, you might assume it's easy to find them in good shape, but there's a difference between good and perfect. Collectors place the highest value on coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition, coins that show no signs of wear, scratches, or circulation. A Lowell quarter pulled straight from a mint roll or collector set can already be worth more than face value. But if that same coin also has a dramatic error, the value can skyrocket. The Lowell quarter also benefits from being the first release of 2019. First releases in coin programs tend to attract extra attention because collectors see them as milestones. Combine that with the coin's historical theme, representing America's Industrial Revolution, and you have a design that resonates with both history lovers and coin enthusiasts alike. It's worth noting that the America the Beautiful Quarters program has already ended, making coins like the Lowell quarter even more important to collectors. As time goes on, pristine examples and rare errors from this program will only become harder to find, and their values are likely to increase. So, what does all of this mean for the Lowell quarter in terms of value? While an ordinary Lowell quarter in circulation is still worth just 25 cents, certain versions with rare errors, combined with flawless condition, have sold for extraordinary sums. And now comes the part you've been waiting for, the incredible value reveal. One rare Lowell quarter, struck with the right kind of error and preserved in perfect condition, has been known to sell for as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $75,000 for a single quarter minted just a few years ago. That's the magic of coin collecting. Even modern coins, the ones you might find in your change today, can hold unbelievable value if they have the right characteristics. So, my friends, the next time you come across a 2019 Lowell quarter, don't dismiss it as just pocket change. Take a close look at the details, check for errors, and consider its condition. You might just have a hidden treasure sitting right in the palm of your hand. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about the rarest and most valuable coins in the world, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another exciting discovery. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.